right, let's see if this will work. Mr. Glitchy YouTube, maybe this will work. Maybe. Is it working? Yeah, it actually might be. All right, well, let me put my external monitor on. Hey, good morning to you. It's good evening to me. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 21,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance, because trading is risky. Not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. Never risk money you cannot afford to lose. The sunglasses are killing me in the best way possible. They're not actually sunglasses. It's my external monitor. So I actually have to look under the glasses to see my laptop screen. But I see what you are seeing stream. So I see a 50-inch 4K screen, which I'm streaming here. So it's just lighter. I can't put a 50-inch 4K screen in my carry-on bag, but I'm on the other side of the planet. It's nighttime right now, and the U.S. stock market is opening. So anyways, let's go through it. Let's get a little update, see what's going on in the world. Let's see if I reset it here. U.S. stocks may see further downside in early trading. Japan warns citizens in China about safety as diplomatic crisis deepens.
Award-winning broker versus trade achieves FSC regulatory milestone. Oil steadies as markets weigh Russia sanctions and glut forecasts. ADP weekly U.S. employment versus 2,500 last week. Not confirmed yet. ConocoPhillips Novaterra sign MOU with Syrian Petroleum Company.
BOE's pill. Underlying inflation dynamics in UK are lower than headline suggests.
China urban youth unemployment rate falls.
Cool. So anyways, what time is it? It took a long time to get this stream going again. I can't quite see the bottom right corner. I guess it's 9:06 a.m., so we got about 20 minutes by the time the stock market opens. So let's take a look of what's going on here. So far we had the claims. Again, I'm not sure how accurate this is going to be and how believable it is. So I'm just going to let all this data come out, and hopefully by the January we could have safe, reliable data. But anyways, taking a look at these numbers. Yeah, it's right. The 4-week average is off, obviously, because we've had this time off. So I don't know even what to believe at this rate. Nothing really on the calendar today, right? And tomorrow, let's see if it'll scroll. There we go. Tomorrow, a lot of cool stuff, obviously. FOMC meeting minutes, real estate data, which, by the way, I plan on building real estate data into traders.com because it's useful information. It tells us, like, for example, a GDP, you're supposed to track consumption, investment, and government spending. And you track exports and you track imports. That's it. That's all GDP is. So housing is a big part of investment. And in fact, consumers spend money except for housing. Housing is the only way really for a consumer to quote unquote spend money but make it an investment, because it's a return on investment. So you buy a TV, it loses money. You buy a car, it loses money. You buy a PlayStation 6, it loses money. A house should go up in value. And that means if it has a return on investment over time, it's an investment, right? So consumers tend to spend, but businesses tend to invest. But again, if you're going to track consumer investment, the best way to do that is through real estate. Hey, yo, it's risk off. Hope you know that. Yeah, it's getting ugly out there, huh? Yeah, we're at $59 a barrel, even a little bit lower for a while there. Cost of money is going, that 4.1 is still quite high. It's been like that for what, 5-6 weeks now? It's been over 4. Yeah. So anyways, that's pretty high, not coming down. Remember, that's one way to gauge whether the Fed is expected to lower interest rates or not. So the fact that we're at 4.1 kind of suggests, well, maybe they're not going to cut anymore. Inflation is low, however, because of the falling oil prices. So if they wanted to, they could. Bitcoin, holy smokes. Yeah, and gold, back to 4K. Yeah, back to 4K. So a big, fat 6.56. And yeah, VIX going up, stock market coming down. What can I say? It's ugly. Yeah. What else? Balance of trade out of Japan, inflation out of UK, NFP on Thursday. That's weird, right? Yeah, that's weird. But there's not a lot on these risk opportunities and events, right? All right. Take a look at the market before the stock market opens. What we're trying to do is say, hey, man, is it bullish or bearish, correct? Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite concerned. I can see the layout on our site is broken in many ways, and I don't know how that's possible, unless it's just my browser glitching. But there's lots of little things that are broken, and that's supposed to not have happened. So sorry, guys. That is really concerning. Who the heck made a change? It wasn't me. Yeah, the whole basically template file's broken. I didn't break it. So who broke it? Interesting. I'm very concerned about that. That did not make my day. That does not make my day at all. Anyways, 656. That's really bad. Okay. Correlation. Look at even our everything's broken. Probably easy to fix this, but why it's broken, that I don't know. All right, so anywho, let's try to get through it alive. If SPX goes up or down, NASDAQ goes up or down 96% of the time, which means they're basically the same. So you, in cases when things are good, you probably want to own NASDAQ, and when things are bad, you're better off owning SPX. And what that shows is they move in the same direction, but I also know that this doesn't replace beta. This only shows vol, which means we know NASDAQ, or I assume NASDAQ has more volatility built into it, which means even though the S&P 500 and NASDAQ move in the same direction 96% of the time, NASDAQ will move up more or down more. That's a different measure. And that means you want to own it when things are going up because it'll beat the S&P 500, but when everything is falling, it will be worse than the S&P 500. So if you're able to manage that, that's great. That's what you're supposed to be trying to do. Negative 7.7 on the VIX. That means if VIX is falling, the stock markets go up. If VIX is up, the stock market is falling because there's an inverse relationship. See the negative 0.77? Okay, and the correlation has changed. Look at that. Now the correlation is nothing really. There's no real correlation right now between the dollar and the stock market, and I just find that fascinating. That's not a typical thing. When dollar is strong, gold is falling. Okay, that makes sense. When dollar is strong, euro dollar's neutral. No. Oh yeah. So if the S&P 500 rises, euro yen rises much of the time, but it's not a very strong thing. So what we want to do is see things close to 1 or close to negative 1, and there's not a lot of great correlation with the currency markets. The best thing that we see, oil tends to go up with the stock market, and euro yen tends to go up with the stock market, and euro dollar doesn't seem to have any relationship with the stock market. That is just shocking. All right, so interesting. But these are the big assets that we care about, and then of course you can dive in and get more specific ones. But that is interesting. So if it's full on risk on, euro yen, it's kind of the main thing. Now you can break this down, go into all Forex and get more data and find the strongest relationships. Like dollar Swiss franc and euro dollar are almost exactly the same pair, just going in the opposite direction. Yeah. All right. So anyways, very risk off right now. These tabs have to all update once we get good data coming in from the government. And really, it's not till next month that we're going to start to get, like, I don't know. I kind of feel like the data we're getting now is filler data. They're like, oh, you need something to put in your model? Here's some numbers. But I don't have much confidence in these numbers. I don't know if you do or not. But at least now we can start pulling data into our fundamental tables, because we want to talk fundamentals more, don't we? Yeah, for sure. But if you don't have the fundies, what are we going to talk about? The numbers, what happened 3 months ago? And this is broken too. What in the world? This is very upsetting. So I apologize, guys, but here's the thing. I didn't break this, so why is it broken? Is it just me, or... Let's see, I can't even see the chat. Yeah, I have to remember how to set these glasses up. It's supposed to be like, well, there's a couple of things, like I don't have it so it's fixed. Usually it's fixed. It's not fixed, so I should be able to look down and see the chat. But the image I have is not fixed, but I don't want to do that now. I don't want to mess with that, so we'll just do it. So it's hard to see the chat. But anyways, yeah. So sorry if you're like, hey, is it broken for you guys too? I don't know. So I just wanted to make sure we had an opportunity to meet before the stock market. But here's the bottom line: it's risk off. Look at that. It's I don't know what it is. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe, you know what it might be? I ordered better infrastructure so Aiden can think better, and so that our, like our, for example, our model, right? Our large language model, Aiden, it's complicated and it takes a lot of data and a lot of processing, and a lot of AI. And so, you know, the idea here is to upgrade the infrastructure so it can do it faster and cleaner. And so maybe they're in the middle of that transition, right? So anyways, hopefully that goes away on its own. Okay. Okay, well, that's better if it's just an infrastructure rollover. What's happened is probably half the data's on the new server and half the of the data's on the old server, and it's transitioning. So, okay. Well, I'll have to keep my fingers crossed and pray that everything is good to tomorrow. I'll take that off because now I don't need it. But anyways, yeah, so hey, I just wanted to get an opportunity to spend time with you before the stock market opens. It looks like you know, the blood is in the streets, but at least you've been well trained and you know what to do. I'm still shocked that the dollar isn't radically stronger. We might be in a new regime of dollar is not acting like a safe haven. How interesting is that, huh? Yeah. I think I can put my actual glasses on. Cool. So I miss you guys. I'll be home next week, so this road trip, even though it adds complexity on the short term, is all good on the long term. So anyways, and the glasses are cool, right? Yeah, they really do help. It's nice to have big screens, a high resolution that you can bring with you on the road. And they are configured so when I look through my glasses, instead of one screen, I can see 4 screens. And so now imagine having 4 high resolution screens while you travel. Yeah, and that, honestly, that's pretty cool, right? For a Forex trader like us. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a better stream. But if the site is glitched because of this rollover into the new server, then there's not much I can do. It just really sucks the timing of it. Because there's not much I can do in a hotel room, right? So, anyways. Cool. Any questions? Maybe I can answer a question if the site isn't really helping. No questions? What? Yeah. All right, well, cool. I just want to be here for you. So I will see you tomorrow morning. I'm not going to be able to do an afternoon thing. It just, the time doesn't seem to quite work. But if I can, I will. But let's just plan at these 9 o'clock market open meetings on YouTube, and then on Monday we'll get back to the 2 streams a day, one on YouTube and 1 or 2 streams actually on traders.com. Cool. Sorry for all the troubles. Yeah, on top of that, like the new YouTube software and the new streaming software, and it's weird and it's glitchy and it's not the way it used to work and all that kind of stuff. Oh, could you please exchange us for a bit of the fundamentals of what's going on right now? Well, that's the thing though, Longster. Two things. One, I'm not in my office. I'm on the other side of the world. So I'm not as informed normally of like what's happening right this second. Like there's some tensions between Japan and China. Really? Okay, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, the 2-minute thing. Yeah. And I just showed you as I was trying to run our data analytics, it looks like the server's in transition and I don't have access to the data. Also, on top of that, this phony baloney data coming in from the US government to you know, fill the empty data cells in our tables. Non-farm payrolls, like how did they make that calculation and how accurate is it going to be? Remember, it takes months to get a bad number for non-farm payrolls, and then it takes another month to revise it to make it half reasonably accurate. So now they're just doing non-farm payrolls in a couple of days? Who did they call in the last 2 or 3 days to get a non-farm payrolls number? So like, can I believe it? Look, even if it's real, I don't know if I can believe it. It's just, I can't believe they suddenly said, well, normally we do a really poor job in 4 weeks, so we'll do a really good job in 4 days? Really? So, you know, that kind of thing. But Luncher, I'll tell you, I love the fundamental side. That's where I get my kicks, right? Because when you do technical analysis, it's the same. It's technical analysis. How hard can it be? Are you a bull? I'm a bull. Okay, great. So if you're bull, buy high or low. Well, where do I buy? I don't know, the moving average, Fibonacci retracement, daily Fibonacci, as long as it's a higher low and it starts moving back up, it's probably buyable, right? Like, there's all kinds of ways you can measure that, but fundamentals are fundamentals. It means something. And it's usually not, it doesn't mean what you think, and it usually isn't what you hear on TV. So that's the kind of stuff that I love talking about. But there's nothing to talk about today. Right? Cold start for me, lack of information, lack of idyllic trend. So we have to deal with it and keep going, right? Yeah. Yeah, I love the fundamental side. So really, I'm probably not going to be that great on that until like the middle of next week. So we have more data and I'm more informed, right? Remember, I'm taken out of my cocoon. And so, yeah, I mean, it's honest. I'm just trying to be honest, right? So that kind of stuff. You know, I don't know everything, especially if I don't have the data, right? So anyways, wicked double challenging day, right? If the site's down and I'm unplugged. So now I can't even lean on the site. So boo, but you know, these things happen. Cool, so maybe everything will be right as rain tomorrow. It's gonna be Wednesday in a couple of hours for me. So I'll tell you what the future is like tomorrow. So anyways, peace on earth. Okay, live from my hotel room, my little hotel room. And I will see you tomorrow. Yeah. Miss you guys.